So this is another end of day break. Well, I say end of day, but I'm recording now. I'm still in this trade at the moment. The date is the 30th of July, and today I've taken two trades, one break even, and I'm still floating in this one as we speak. So, how did I find these trades, and what made me actually take them? What compliments did I have? So we'll start off from the daily. Recently, we have swept this weekly internal protected low, and we've been very rangy around this area. If you look at this from the 24th of June up until now, so the past month, basically, we've just been inside this massive range, and you can see that also on the 4 hour. So for me, when we are in these high time frame ranging conditions, I like to look at order flow a lot here. So for me, the high time frame external weeks will be very internal, like for example 1 hour lows and things like that. But I count them as high time frame. So if we go down onto the 1 hour, we have had this move up here, and let me just remove this. Sorry if this red line and stuff's a bit annoying, but I ain't exiting my trade right now. Anyway, so we've moved up here, and this was our last hourly break for me. And as you can see here, we had a order flow shift. So we broke this 1 hour low. And because of that, order flow changed for me, and that gave me these weak lows. Because previously, when order flow shifted up on the 1 hour, I had weak highs up here. But because remember, it's stuck in this range, I'm just following order flow. I'm following 1 hour order flow and 5 minute order flow, which is a mid time frame and a low time frame. So now, coming into the day, I would also count this as a break as well. Just drawing it from this bottom, I would have this as some sort of break in the market. However, if we go on to the 5 minute and actually saw what was going on in the day, we had recently just broke this 5 minute internal protected high. And because of that, we were bullish, and that showed me that we needed a correction up to the last mid time frame high. So for me, that's this 1 hour internal protected high here. Now we've had this correction up, a very big correction up, and for me, these two trades are counter trend. They are not pro trend because order flow on the 5 minute right now is bullish. However, I do have external weak structure, which means I'm able to take counter trends. Now, I wouldn't take a counter trend or even a pro trend without any sort of weak structure around, because it's not part of my rules. And also for me, for market to move in corrections and impulses, which is the way I actually trade and how I analyze the market in that aspect, I know that if we're going towards this external week, we're going to be moving in, as you can see, correction, impulse, correction, impulse. Now for this trade, it is towards the external week, but we haven't had an order flow shift. And because of that, because we haven't had an order flow shift on the 5 minute time frame, order flow on the 5 minute is still bullish. So we could easily push up past this and then also have a mid time frame order flow shift. Normally what happens is, because we've had this massive move up and we haven't had any breaks since this one, it would be hard for us to mitigate this 1 hour internal protected high without taking this as a weak low, because this mitigating this weak high here, or not this weak high, sorry, this 1 hour protected high gives me an unconfirmed weak low at the bottom here. So for it to be confirmed, I need an order flow shift. But for that order flow shift to happen, we need to take out this protected low here. So for me, it's unconfirmed. So it's for this, I would call this externally weak, internally protected. Now, onto the actual trade. As you can see, we had moved up very high. Now, we corrected down here throughout the morning, and we created and we engineered, which is what I like to call it, engineering liquidity into the market. So I am targeting a point of inducement / liquidity in the market. Now, you might ask, what is this I can't speak. What is this engineered liquidity do? So this is actually engineered liquidity for the internal protected low here. Now, for us to be able to move up, I need this low to be taken or us to mitigate it in some sort of way through my various confluences. Now, what trade did I actually take? This is both of these are counter trends and one is a double confirmation. So this first trade, we'd moved up here, and as you can see, we also swept the inducement for the internal protected high on the 1 hour, which is this high here, even though we mitigated it through order blocks, etc., and we moved down. But the fact that we didn't have the order flow shift down here or anything like that means that when we've pushed up here, I can take a short down as a counter trend to this inducement, because the pro trend for me hasn't played out, even though it looks like it has. This is just a no close here, and that makes this weak for me. And because market moves in impulses and corrections, and because we haven't impulsed and broken this high here, that shows me that this is weak and this low hasn't been strong enough to break the previous high. Now, what did I have on this trade? If you actually look here, it looks a bit crazy on silver, but we swept it, so we've had a no close plus sweep. And then there was also SMTs, which is, I'm testing it right now on silver with gold. We had SMTs with gold and silver here. As you can see, this line right here was the SMT here. That's where we've swept this high on gold, but we haven't on silver. Now, I entered, and because this is a counter trend, I always go break even at the first low. So for that first low was here. If I didn't get this push up and then down, that low would have been here, so I would have been break even there. But because we pushed up, created a new low, came down to it and touched it, therefore I'm break even as soon as we touch this low. Now, unfortunately, I got break evened here, but I was still looking to short down. Now, as you can see, volume hasn't been very good, but we are quite late in the night, and I'm not expecting it to push very far down here, to be honest. But then this second trade, this was called a double confirmation for me. Now, if you look on silver, this high is the same as this high on gold. Now, we've come up and I've got SMTs here, which is when, as I said before, one pair has taken it and the other pair hasn't. So silver has taken this high, gold didn't take the high, and because I've got the SMTs, all I waited for was a rejection candle, as you can see that white candle right there. So I've entered off that double confirmation, and my target is, as I said, the inducement. So I hope that helps you guys, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll try to be doing these videos again daily if I can, if not every 2 days, or just basically whenever I take a trade, if it's a loss, break even, or if it's a win. But I'll keep you guys posted on this trade on my story, and thank you for watching.